You're watching Getting to Know Overdrive in the Libby by Overdrive app. Let's get started. To get to Overdrive, you want to start by going to the eLibrary section. The easiest way to do this is to go to the bottom band of options and choose eLibrary. Overdrive is an ebook platform. It allows you to access ebooks and audiobooks. I'm going to click on Overdrive, search our Overdrive collection. Overdrive Books works like books in a library. There are only a certain amount of copies, and then you have to get on a wait list. If you sign in, you're able to see more available titles. The first thing you do is select your library. We are part of the Minuteman Library Network, so we're going to choose Minuteman Library Patrons. To continue with the login process, you enter your 14-digit library card number and your password. The password is the same as your library card PIN. If you do not know your PIN, you can reset it by going to our main library website, choosing My Account, and then choosing Forgot Password. This will send a registration email to the email that we have on file for you. There, you can change your password or set up a password for the first time. You can see that I'm logged in because it says My Account in the top corner here. This little book symbol will take me to my customized options. You can see the loans, holds, and wish list. A wish list allows you to keep track of books and eAudiobooks that you want to read or listen to later. You can also see the status of any recommendations that you've made for the library network, your history, if you've activated this feature, and your settings. By default, your lending period is usually set to 14 days. If you want to extend that, you can change it to 21 days or shorten it to 7 days. This is where you can enable your history. I'm going to go back to the main page by using the browser arrow. If I chose Minuteman Library Network, that would take me to the Minuteman Library Network website, which is not where I want to go. Here we are at the main Overdrive page. You can browse by subjects, collection. Collections include Available Now eBooks and Available Now audiobooks. This will only show you titles that are currently available, not titles where you would have to place a hold. If you are only going to use a Kindle device, you can also just click the button that says Kindle Books. This will only show you titles that are available for Kindle. As you can see, it's showing us titles that are available and titles that have a wait list. If we wanted to borrow Where the Crawdads Sing, we could just click Borrow, or we can click on the cover image. Here at the cover image page, we can see the option to borrow, and we can also see details about the book. a description, some subjects, and also the formats it's available for. So even though we found this under the Kindle book search, it is also available to be read in the browser via Overdrive Read or in the Overdrive or Libby app as an Epub ebook. We'll discuss those later. I'm going to click Borrow. Here, I'm asked if I want to check out the book for 21 days or if I want to change that loan period. I'm going to stick with the 21 days and click Borrow. Where the Crawdads Sing is now checked out to you until July 21st. And it tells me that I can borrow 9 more titles, because you are allowed to borrow 10 titles at a time. That's not 10 titles a month, it's just 10 titles at the same time. I'm going to go back to my bookshelf. And now you can see where the Crawdads Sing. I could read it now in my browser. I could download it as an Epub book, or I can click Read Now with Kindle. By clicking Read Now with Kindle, you'll be sent to the Amazon website. Here, if you're not already logged in, it will ask you to log in. This is done so you are able to identify the Kindle or the Kindle app that you want to send your book to. This is how Amazon finds those ebook options. Now, this is a very popular book, and I'm not ready to read it. So instead of choosing any of these download options, I'm able to just click Return. I'll be asked to confirm if I want to return the title, and I'll go ahead and do that. Now I have returned the title. Let's go back to Kindle Books. Once again, you can see titles that are available and titles with a waiting list. I'm going to go ahead and place a hold. I can look at the information about the book, but if I know that I already want to place a hold, I can just click Place a Hold. Now Overdrive wants me to confirm the email address that I want to receive my notification to. So you would put in your email address and confirm your email address and click Place a Hold. After I place the hold, I'm given a window that says Success, what my hold position is, and that I will be receiving an email when the title becomes available. Let's take a look at the subjects that are available. You can immediately narrow down your search. So are you looking for an ebook? Are you looking to listen to the book as an eAudiobook? Or are you interested in browsing the magazines? Just to touch on the magazines, just take a quick look at the magazine titles. Overdrive magazines are always available, and they can be checked out for your preferred loan period. Then the titles will simply disappear and be checked back in. Right now, we're looking at the July-August issue of the Oprah magazine. but maybe you missed the last issue. To see the rest of the Oprah magazines, just click on the link below the title that says, "Oh, the Oprah magazine." Here, you can see additional issues. We can click on the June issue. We can read a sample, or simply click Borrow. And that's Overdrive magazines. Let's go to the eBooks. Here, you can see a number of different titles. Let's check out science fiction and fantasy. Along the side, you can see that we're looking at fiction books, that they're all ebooks, and that it's science fiction and fantasy. We can change our search to only available now. We can change by the date added. Now that would be the date added to Overdrive, not necessarily by pub date. Let's look at audiobooks. Audiobooks, African American fiction. And for our purposes, we're going to see what's available now. Let's take a look at Joe Ide. Joe Ide's book, Wrecked, is here as an audiobook. One thing about audiobooks is sometimes you want to hear the narrator. Luckily, Overdrive allows you to listen to a sample. I'm going to click Listen to a Sample. And as you can see, there are the normal play buttons. There's also pause. You can change the speed at which the narrator speaks by clicking on the speedometer here. You can set a sleep timer. So if you happen to doze off while you're listening to your e-audiobook, it won't get too far ahead. And you can view the chapters. I'm going to return to my account and go to Recommendations. These are titles that I've recommended that be purchased. And you can see that both of them have been purchased because I'm allowed to borrow one or place a hold on the other. This note here says that as a Minuteman Library Network card holder, I am able to borrow titles from other partner libraries. That means if I don't find the title I'm looking for in our collection, I can search the collection for Boston Public Library, Clams Network, CW Mars, Merrimack Valley Library Consortium, Noble, Old Colony Library Network, and the Sales Library Network. I would do that just by clicking on Boston Public Library. Returning to the Minuteman Overdrive, the end of policing. The not showing in my results for Minuteman. And right here, you can see that this title is not owned by Minuteman. But we did just see it at the Boston Public Library. All I'd have to do is click Borrow. And Boston Public Library wants me to sign in. Once I do that, I'll be able to borrow the title. Let's look at the app experience. I'm going to start by going to the App Store and entering Overdrive in the search bar. I'm going to ignore the Amazon ad and look at Overdrive eBooks. Right now it says Update because I already have the app. If I didn't have the app, it would say Get. So you would click Get and open Overdrive. Let's take a quick look at the layout of Overdrive. When I first log in, I see my bookshelf. If I click in the top left corner, I can also see my account and settings, history if I've enabled it, and Minuteman Library Network under my libraries. That means that I can see the full collection like I would through the browser. Here I can search. I can check my bookshelf, but it's going to make me log in. And then that I've clicked Sign In, I can see my loans. Currently, I have out the Oprah magazine. I can read now in my browser, or I can return it. Let's take a quick look at the main page. Under Filters, I can look at only available now titles. As an example, I'm going to check out What We Lose. I see that it's available, and I'm going to click Borrow. Here I am asked if I want to borrow it for 21 days, or I can change that to 7 or 14 days. Click Borrow. And it says I can read now with Kindle, or I can download the Epub ebook. I'm going to leave it on my bookshelf. And I'm going to click Download Epub ebook. It says my title was added, but where do I go to read it? I go to the menu and to the app bookshelf. Not your account bookshelf, the app bookshelf. And I'm going to change from audiobooks to all titles. And there we go, there's my book. I can tap on it to open, click Download, tap on it to open, and start reading. If I tap in the middle of the screen, I can change the text size, the font style, the brightness of the screen, the background color of the text, and I can even change how the book is aligned, whether I want it to be in columns, if I want to change the line spacing, even the margins. Some books allow you to make these changes, others will not. Okay, so that's the Overdrive app. Overdrive is the original app for Overdrive. However, there's a new app called Libby. Let's get started with Libby. I'm going to go to the App Store and go to Search and search for Libby. And it's Libby by Overdrive. So I'm going to click on that. And right now it says open because I do already have it downloaded. If I didn't, it would say get, and I would click the button. So let's look at the layout of Libby. All right, this is my shelf. Shows me my loans. Holds. Tells me when the items are due. And even shows me my recent returns. To look at what's available in the library, I just click Library. For first-time setup, you'll need to log in with your library card number, full, no spaces, and your library password or PIN. This is the same information you use with your Overdrive account and with your library card. Once you've identified your library network and your home library, that will show up in the app, Minuteman Library Network. So you can browse what's featured. And all the way at the bottom of the page, you'll find your categories. So there's fiction and nonfiction. I'm going to click on fiction. Right here in fiction, I'm being shown all of the audiobooks that are available. But what if I wanted to see ebooks and audiobooks? I would go to Preferences, go to Format, and change that to Any. Under Preferences, you can also choose your availability level to be only available now, or everything. And remember to click Apply Preferences. So the titles where I have to place a hold, it says Place Hold. There are also options for titles that are currently available, like Where the Crawdads Sang in audio. Then I would just click Borrow or play a sample. Let's play a sample. 'Cause As you can see, the Play a Sample feature is very similar to what you see in the browser. You have your play pause button, your speedometer at the top, sleep timer, bookmarks and highlights, but you also have the 15-second skip option. This allows you to skip back 15 seconds or forward 15 seconds. Or if you tap it twice, forward 30 seconds. For playback, simply click the play button.
Slow-moving creeks wander, carrying the orb of the sun with them to the sea, and long-legged birds lift with unexpected grace, as though not built to fly, against the roar of 1,000 snow geese. Then within the marsh, here and there, true swamp crawls into low-lying bogs, hidden in clammy forests. Swamp water is still and dark, having swallowed the light in its muddy throat.
Okay, so now you have an idea of what the narrator sounds like. Let's see about checking out Such a Fun Age. So I'm going to click Borrow. At the top of the page, it will tell me that it'll check out for 21 days. I can tap that and change that to 7 days or 14 days. And then if I'd like, I click Borrow. I can go back to my shelf. If I click on Loans, I'll see Such a Fun Age, which I just checked out. Under Manage Loan, you can return early. I'm going to open the ebook up in Libby. So I'm going to say Open in Libby. There we go. The book's open. If I tap in the middle of the screen, I'll bring up the different options. If I click on the A, that gives me a chance. The lighting, the book design, even change the typeface. I can also find any bookmarks or highlights. I can search. And then I'll see every instance of the word I searched for, including what chapter they're in. I can also check on the progress right at the bottom of the screen. In the app, I'm told that How to Be an Anti-Racist is available to borrow. I also received an email. In the email, I'm told that I can also reschedule when I receive this hold. So if I'm not ready for it yet, I won't lose my place in line. If I don't borrow or reschedule my hold within 3 days, it will automatically be rescheduled as a one-time courtesy. To borrow, I would just click Go to Your Holds. You can also do a general search. And there's My Antonia by Willa Cather. The ebook is ready to borrow, or I could place a hold on the audiobook. And just by tapping the circle at the bottom of the page, I've brought up Such a Fun Age and where I left off. And that's the Libby app. I hope you enjoyed learning about Overdrive and Libby.